And we are live, and we are alive.
Yeah, we are. It feels weird to say
Yeah.
that again.
Yeah, it does. Some people are going to watch this afterwards, and you're probably wondering, like, what the heck is going on? We're going live for the first time in a while,
Like a week, no, like 2 weeks, huh?
in about a week and a half or two,
Roughly
maybe.
2 weeks.
We've been a little bit MIA because of technical issues that we had. Unfortunately, we weren't able to jump on a live. My computer decided it wanted to take a break, or I don't know what. It's like it's on strike. Jackie, hi Jackie, welcome.
Hi, Jackie.
Welcome to the live chat. So yes, as some of you may know, we sort of kind of disappeared
a little bit,
for a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's like, I always look at it as like God's way of saying, chill, take a break, figure things out. When our lives get a little chaotic, you know? We have to like not just run sometimes. You just gotta take it at a.
I wish it was chill for me. It was like very hectic trying to figure this thing out with my computer. Some things just, I don't know. What was going on with the computer was I was exporting my videos, which I normally do. It usually takes about, I don't know, anywhere between 10 to 25 minutes, depending on the length of the video. It'll take 25 minutes to export. And what was going on was I would hit the export button and it would say that it was going to take about 30 to 40 minutes to export. And then my fan would just kick on like really, really loud. And then it would say that I guess the software that I'm using, Adobe Premiere, was taking about 100% of my CPU. And it would say that the power would also go just incredibly, ridiculously high. So I spent some days with David Wellman. Thank you, David, for spending some chats with me and trying to figure this out. Nothing that we did worked. I was looking into getting another computer. Nothing that I sent to David was better than what I had. So I decided to go against against everything I believe
in. Some of you guys are going to be like, what?
I went against everything I believe in, and I bought a Mac. I bought a new artwork. Oh yeah, kind of a little bit. Yes. I gave away my other thing. I put my grandparents back up there. That's a photograph that I took a long time ago. I used to sell these, and these were left over. I still have a couple more. Check this out.
Oh, that one's cool. I like that one.
Oh,
it's a little dusty, but
it's all beat up because I didn't take care of it. But this is I don't know. It always reminded me of like the Crown of Thorns. Maybe this is long hair.
Here. A little,
you know. But yeah, I used to do photography and then sell it at art venues and stuff. Long time ago. But anyway, yes. I got a Mac. I got a Mac Mini M1.
So cute.
It's really small, and it's really small. It's compact, which is if you'll notice in the description down below. I hope it's up. I wrote why I bought it. So one, it was affordable, and it's powerful. I got a discount on Amazon for buying it. Got a $50 discount. It was affordable. It's portable and it's quiet. So for the first time ever, I don't hear a fan kicking in or something that like a buzzing or a humming or anything like that, which is great.
It's a lot more peaceful in here.
It's a lot more peaceful in here. It's quiet and it doesn't take up a lot of space. I'm still going to fix my other computer to use it for like, editing maybe, or like music creation, because I don't want to put too much wear and tear on the Mac, and make it, available for like live streaming and for some other projects that I got. So we're back.
Yes, we're back.
I ran into some different issues though. It was a lot of problem solving in the last few days because my normal setup wasn't working with the Mac. I had to download some things, like for example, to capture the audio from the desktop, I needed to download some other software called Black Hole or something like that. And then I had to do all these other stuff, and I watched dozens of YouTube videos to try to figure it out. Finally figured it out. My camera, my Canon camera, which I use in an M50, a Canon M50, it wasn't working because I needed to download some other thing called the utilities webcam thing, and then Mac didn't have it yet, so I had to figure out a way around it, and then I finally figured it out. I had to buy a capture card, spend more money on a capture card, bought a capture card, and then the camera actually had all the ISO and shutter speed and all that stuff. It was still capturing everything. It was capturing literally everything that was on the screen. So I had to figure out how to turn all that stuff off. and then the manual focus, that little square, would keep like trying to follow me around. So I was like, I don't want that showing in the live chats, or the reaction videos is going to be super annoying. So I had to figure out how to, turn it into manual. So my manual focus, so I can't be like getting all up close, because see, it doesn't autofocus. So I have to stay at this distance. A lot of stuff. And then just right now, right before we went on live, my screen would shut off. And so since the capture card is capturing whatever is on the camera, the camera would go on sleep mode. And so we would go on sleep mode, and I figured it out. I had to download another thing called the Utilities 3. And anyway, familia, just to let you know, it's been, doesn't
it sound tiring already just by you listening?
You have no idea how many YouTube videos I watched to figure out all this stuff. And not to mention the shortcut keys that I'm used to on the PC are different for the Mac. And so I catch myself doing like a Control Z, and it's like, nope, it's that weird Apple or whatever it is. I still have the Mac keyboard. So I have to get, the old keyboard, the PC keyboard. So I have to buy a Mac. It's a lot. It's a lot. But
La Familia is worth it. So we were like, we got to get it.
It is.
We got to try it. I say we, like if I was over
here. No, you were helpful, because I almost lost. I'm glad I was bald, because if I had hair.
I had to shave it again because it was growing out. And he's like, you got to take it off.
You got to take it off, because I'm going to pull it. I'm going to pull it off for sure. So it was a hectic week, familia. And so the first, as you can see, you can follow along with me on the description down below. You'll see the stuff we're going to talk about today. So that covers the first part. The Mac Mini is great. It's quiet. It's fast. It renders a video, a long video. It renders in less than 10 minutes, and it exports in less than 20 minutes. It's super. I exported an hour-long video, and I think it took about 25 minutes, which is
really
beautiful.
Really good.
Great. That means I can get these stuff done faster. And the second thing I want to talk about is that I want to apologize, because I've been a fraud. I've been cheating you all with the videos. Yes, we come in here, we do our thing like Leah and Erica and all that stuff, and which is great, but it became sort of like monotonous. Is that the right word?
And it just came very repetitive. It just kind of just felt like I don't know how to use a word that's not going to become insulting to ourselves.
Go ahead.
Like, not that we're boring, but it just became so
predictable.
Yeah, there you go. Good word.
Predictable.
And we kind of wanted to just mix it up and have fun with it, because it's not that we weren't having fun, but it kind of felt like we were just doing the same thing every day, and it just wasn't that much fun for us.
It was repeating, yes.
Yeah.
And I felt like I could do better, right? So the editing, you'll notice that I put like words, and I remember how much fun it was to add like the heart, when I liked a certain part of a song, and I thought like I need to do better. Like this is ridiculous. Like Familia deserves some awesome content.
Yep.
And so we have chosen to reduce the number of reaction videos that we make throughout the week. So it's going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, a new schedule for reaction videos. We might fit one here and there
on Sundays.
Yeah, right. But I'm trying to figure out a new way of doing it, so that maybe we record the reaction separately, then we record our review of the songs separately, and those songs that really are impactful, we'll give a in-depth review. And for those that are like not that impactful, that were still good, that we liked, we'll just leave them nice and short, and maybe we'll just add those to a video, and maybe we'll do 3 or 4 songs in one video. And then this way I can focus on the editing, right? So that's what's going on with that. So yes, I apologize for not giving you all my best. This is just another way of us giving you our best in a very creative way, because I like some of the feedback that we were getting. Some of you, I think David Wellman was like, hey, I like seeing the creative side.
A lot of people during the comments, they were like very interested and loved what happened.
No, Brad, I am terribly sorry. You'll see in this video, the last week has just been hectic. I haven't been able to download anything. I haven't been able to do anything on my computer. I just got a new machine. And so I'm going to jump back on my schedule and answer and reply to people. I promise. But Brad is the gentleman who was helping me with the people from The Chosen, from VidAngel. I will definitely respond to you as soon as we're done with this live. I'll take a look at what you sent me. Okay. Yes, I got the files from the people at the Chosen, and that's in the agenda. That's number 5. So we'll go in order here. Number 3. this is a bit of a hard topic for me, familia. I'm going to be completely honest. Completely honest. Do I have your permission? Do I have your permission to be completely honest here on this channel? We started out with me being completely vulnerable on this channel, opening up myself to the stories and the music, and it's been such a wonderful journey so far. But there have been struggles, familia. There have been some real struggles, and I'm sure that some of you can relate. As Christians, you know that there are so many things that you are to learn. There's so many things to learn. There's so many things that to explore, so many different ideas and beliefs that leave you with a choice. Like, do I believe this or do I believe this other thing? And it has been really challenging for me, familia. So the third topic here is the non-Christian title comes back, maybe like a non-Christian for Christ. And here's why I'm talking about that, familia, because for me, do I believe in the Father? Yes. Do I believe in Christ? Yes. Do I believe that he came down to earth to teach us how to love and to redeem us? Yes. Do I believe that he died for everyone and died so that we may have we may be with him? Yes, I believe that. And I think my belief goes that far and to that extent and that extent alone. There have just been so many different ideas and beliefs that I've come across in my journey here that I can't fully jump on board with, because it makes me feel like I'm just trying to fit in, and I'm not about trying to fit in with the ideas of the Christian community. I love you all. You all have been so wonderful and so accepting, and there have been some as well who have been not as welcoming and not as accepting, or have been a little bit harsh and have made me, if I can be completely honest, made me feel like I'm a project, like someone that just, babe, you're a baby, you don't know, but you will know. Just keep reading, just keep praying, just keep doing that, and you'll get there. I don't like that feeling of feeling like I'm somebody's project, like you're looking at me. I'm generalizing, general you, not just you. That I just don't like that feeling. Like I'm a project, like I'm in a magnifying glass. And so everyone, would tell me things like, jump on board. What are you waiting for, brother? Just come on in, just jump on board. There's so much freedom. And I saw, but when I got here, it's like, okay, there's freedom. I jumped on board and everyone was like, okay, well, here are the rules. Don't do this, don't do that. Yes, do this, believe this, don't believe that. People who believe this are heretics. People who do this are false prophets. They're this, they're false. And I'm like, whoa. Like, I'm just here to love on people. I'm just here to spread the love of God. And I'm happy to. This is not a definite thing. I'm not saying that the non-Christian title is coming back, but this is kind of where I'm feeling right now, because I love my relationship with God. And I love what has come about here. Like, I love what has been created here. I'm going to continue this journey. That's not, make no mistake about that. We're going to continue this journey for sure. I'm just, for a minute here, I'm going to take a step back, and I'm still going to be at the door welcoming people and loving people and telling them that they're loved here. If that's okay with you all. Okay. So I hope that I still have your love and support after all that. I just need to sort of take a step back. I think this last few weeks, I've been more in communication with God in a way that I hadn't in a really long time. And I'm happy there. I'm really, really happy. I'm not saying follow me or you should do it too. I respect where everyone is here. And I just want you all to still, hopefully you'll still join me and join us on this journey and walk with us. Anything you want to add to that?
No, I mean, you kind of like, yeah, you're good. You're good. Keep going. You're on a roll. I'll just stand here and look cute.
No, what?
No, I don't look cute.
Let me stand here and look cute. You
no. But really quickly.
Sure.
I have to be getting out of here soon. I had to pick up Lena E. It was supposed to be a little bit quicker. Not like that. And like we're supposed to rush it. It's just we were on a time crunch because I got to go get Lena E. So I probably should just step out now before you go on like your other topics. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's already 3:20.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Sorry. I love you, family. I miss you. We got to do a live where I talk more.
All right. Okay, familia.
Sorry.
I'll touch on some of this other stuff. We were supposed to get on here earlier, but I ran into some technical problems. The next thing I just really quickly wanted to talk about was what should we do with the other requests? If I'm going to be doing 3 days, let me move this light.
Sorry.
It's okay. If we're going to be doing 3 songs a week or 3 reaction videos a week, I just need to find out, make sure, decide what I'm going to do with the other reactions that I get, because I get Cash App requests from you all, and I want to get through them all. I just fear that I'm going to fall so far behind with these Cash App requests that I'm not going to be able to get to yours on time. So we'll figure all that stuff out. And then wanted to talk about the Chosen. So I did receive the files now. Now I need to just download them onto the new machine here and prepare them and make sure that all my system is going to work well, because I would hate for the camera to turn off or for something unexpected to happen in the middle of that reaction and then lose you all. So that is coming up soon. I'm choosing a date and a time. It looks like everyone said that the best time for you all was 6. I apologize to my friends on the other side of the world who will actually 6 o'clock for me here will be somewhere around 1 or 2 in the morning for you. I'm hoping that I could find a good schedule, maybe do one at 6 and then another one at 2 o'clock, just to keep everyone happy. I'm a people pleaser, so I'm hoping that we can resolve that. It's been difficult. It's been seriously difficult to pick a time, but I think we're gonna jump on it. But before I do, I need to have a meeting with the people that are helping us with Discord, with Angela and Linda and Matt and Mama Bear, and we have to do a quick prayer on it before we jump on board. And I also have to catch up by rewatching season 1, so that I can be caught up to speed, because it's been a while. It's been over a year now since season 1. So I'm excited about that. We had Brad. I promise I'm going to check your messages here, because I think you have another project. I believe I saw briefly that you had another project you were thinking of. I'm excited to do that. All right, so number 6 down below in the description, you'll see we're following an agenda here. I talked about my new Mac, talked about me being a fraud and having a new schedule and giving you the best edits that I possibly can give you. We talked about the non-Christian versus or non-Christian for Christ. I don't know how that sounds to you all, but sort of taking a step back here to reevaluate what should we do with the other requests, and then the Chosen. And then also now number 6 is prayer nights. Prayer nights. Okay, so yes, I'm taking that sort of step back just to reevaluate some things. As you may have noticed, I took a step back after we started Romans, mostly, honestly, because just some of the ideas that people have makes me take a step back and question what I'm getting myself into, because I'm not really into making big decisions on things like certain topics, religious and political and all that other stuff. So I had to take a step back to really see what I'm getting myself into. Zoe, I have not finished the Corey picture. I need to jump on that, and I will. I know he just made a comeback, so I think I saw somebody said that they personally know Corey. I just asked him. I think he had like a questions on Instagram, and I asked him if he's willing to join me for a conversation on the podcast. We'll see what he says. David Makinson, if you could, just elbow him a little bit and just be like, hey, so you think that maybe you could, I'd like to see you on the podcast with Leonardo Torres and Erika. That'd be great. So because of my own concerns. Yes. So prayer nights. I was hoping that we could get a pastor to join us for prayer nights. So you all can join us on a live chat, and in the live chat, just mention who you want prayer for and have the pastor or myself just do an out loud sort of prayer, and have everyone on the prayer on the chat room also be in prayer, to pray for one another and to pray for whatever issues or concerns are being dealt with either as a whole, as a whole world, global issues, local issues, neighborhood issues, personal issues. You all can bring your concerns, and we'll put them up on the screen. Maybe not talk so much. It'll just be just that prayer. Maybe having a pastor just saying, Lord, we pray for health for such and such person, and then as we're seeing them come on, just a continued long prayer. If that sounds like something you'd like to do, let us know, and we will definitely get something like that started. We'll do that here on YouTube, since the live chat is such a great way for us to be in communication with one another. Let's see, Hermanito, you're on your own journey. You don't have to answer to no one but the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Thank you, Dori. It's been a lot of stuff that's been going on. Nothing to concern yourselves with. I'm not going to turn my back on you all, and I'm not going to turn my back on Christ. Although some of the things that have happened are enough for me to run away, because you all know my story of how I came to become an atheist, just having things questioned and all that other stuff. So prayer nights, I think, is something that we might get going. Angela just posted a link to our Discord prayer server. So if anybody needs prayer now, you're more than welcome to join us on Discord. It's a free software, free app that allows you to just be in communication with people, like-minded people who are hurt, people who are seeking comfort from other human beings. We come here to pray for one another. We share stories. It's a place to be respectful. So if you're looking for a place to hang out and just to talk about nothing, that's probably not the best place. Here we do want to share photos and share personal things about our lives that you're comfortable sharing with. But safety is our main issue, creating a safe environment for people to come and show up and be themselves, and also to express themselves in a healthy, loving way. So anything that's like political or over the top is not going to be accepted. I know I hate to sound like a stickler, but it has to be that way. Dori, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. By the way, some of the videos now on YouTube, at least the ones that don't have a copyright claim attached to it, will have a button on the side that says thanks, which will allow people to make a donation to the channel. Just a one-time single donation. We also have memberships that you can join members only, and get members only content. I'm going to be doing some pretty awesome stuff. I'm going to be revisiting Corey's song Reckless Love. I'm going to break it down even more, because I don't think I've broken it down that well. So we're going to revisit some of the classics. That one, So Will I. I've been listening to them over and over again. I've just been falling in love with so many different pieces. I'm like, I got to jump on board. That's going to be a members only thing. And I'm going to leave it for members only for about a week or two, and then I'm going to make it live. But I'm going to make it live available to everyone else. But if you want to catch that live and have that conversation with me, we're going to have it on a private, on a private video. Let's see. I'm missing some of your conversations. All right. So I want to point out, the last thing that I wanted to point out was the other channel. You all saw that I've been posting some like quiet meditation videos and linking you back to my other channel. The purpose for that other channel was, one, when my computer started to go down, I started making these sort of videos for my mom on my phone. So it was easy for me to make on my phone, because my mom has a hard time sleeping. And so I make these little sound videos for her where she can picture that she's like in the woods somewhere or in the forest, and with birds and the sound of the river or a creek, and just relax before she goes to sleep. So I made it for her. I started making them, I posted them online. Some of you like it. And if you're having trouble falling asleep, or if you're having trouble with anxiety or depression or anything like that, please visit that channel. I'm going to be going through a couple of exercises that I went through myself when I was dealing with anxiety and depression. When I was in my early 20s, I would wake up anxious, really, really anxious, to the point where I would almost throw up every morning because I hated the job that I was working. And my mind would just race with what if this happens, what if that happens, what if I get into an accident, what if I don't make it to work, what if I get pulled, what if I'm speeding and I get pulled over and then I make it late to work and I lose my job, what if, and it was just all these what ifs, right? That would just be so chaotic in my head that I started to look into personal development. And then I got into listening to like people like Tony Robbins, who's like great at getting you to think outside of your anxiety and think outside of your depression and see things from a different perspective. And I just really like that idea. He introduced me to the idea of what they call I forgot what it's called. It's eye signals, where if you look at one way is you're thinking in pictures, or you're thinking in sounds, or you're talking to yourself, or you're making a feeling. And he referenced this thing called NLP. And I'm like, what's NLP? Neuro-linguistic programming. I looked that up. And then I found just a bunch of different courses and stuff on neuro-linguistic programming. And what neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, is the way that words and your thinking, how it's a study of how your mind works and how your beliefs work, how your ideas work, how your anxiety and depression or fears or phobias and stuff like that, how they work, and how you make a map in your head about them. And then it deconstructs those maps so that you can live better. So I got an NLP certification a few years back because I wanted to teach it, and I never got around to teaching it. And I wanted to teach sales, but I didn't want to teach people how to manipulate, people with sales, because people can use it for all kinds of bad stuff too. So I decided not to go with it. I was like, no, I'm not going to put that out in the world. But since my mom is having a hard time falling asleep, I decided to make this other channel specifically designed to help people sleep, to help people out of their anxiety, to help people with meditation, to help people, overcome certain anxieties and certain fears. Yes, you could still visit a therapist, but this is just a great way of taking a break from time to time. I'm going to have these little things called Take a Break with Me, where I'll guide you through a guided meditation, and we'll open some doors where you'll be able to uncover, secret solutions to your problems. And what's beautiful about it is that you are going to create the solutions yourself. It's not going to be like, I'm going to give you the solutions. I'm simply going to guide you through a meditation. And when you open up a certain door, the answer to your issues are going to be found there. And it's a brilliant way of you solving your own issues internally and gaining insight into what's limiting you, and then going beyond it. It's going to be something that it's going to be something that's open for everyone. But if everything goes well, I might make a couple that are more for a Christian audience, where we can insert Christ in there, or an angel or something, Christ in there in your meditation, so that it can really speak to you on a deeper level. But this one's going to be very, very broad, because I want to help everyone. If all goes well, I might get them started here and go like the Christian route. But if you want to take a break with me, I added a link to one of the videos in the description down below, where I talk about meditation, how you can get started with meditation and start being more at peace, and handle and overcome all your anxiety and all that stuff. So I know that Jackie is checked them out. I feel that I was led here tonight. Miss you all. Thank you, Zoe. We missed you too. There's so many different things. So yes, Erica disappeared into my magic hat. Oh, that's nasty. It's dirty, sweaty. Yeah. So if you're interested in any of that, you could definitely join us on there. Is that like shadow work? It's not like shadow work. Well, see, the thing is that there's a lot of different ways of getting to the other side of your anxiety. There is another side. The thing is rearranging your idea of it, how you're looking at a specific thing. I talk about here creating maps of the world. So let's just say, for example, you are a child. You see your mom freak out when she sees a mouse. You never even saw the mouse, but she starts screaming. She says, a mouse. Now in your internal map, you're like, mice are dangerous. They're dangerous little things. They could kill me, because obviously my mom scrammed. screamed it, really loud. So you develop this fear of mice without actually having encountered it. And so it's about taking how you develop that map, how you connected these ideas, and then reversing them to where you can be okay. If you see a mouse, you're not going to go into like a panic. Maybe, I'm not saying you're going to approach it and grab it or anything like that, but I mean, you could if you wanted to, but just so that you don't let these little things stop you or limit you. For me, I was limiting myself because I was going to work really nervous. I wouldn't give it my all. I would go home, and that, like, at night, just while everybody was asleep, that was my time to think and to do the things that I love to do when nobody would disturb me, and it was just me and my mind. And I mean, there's so many different ways to approach things, like your fears, your phobias, your anxiety, your limitation. There's so many different things, but NLP is just another way of finding out how you're interpreting things, and then redefining them or connecting different. They call them neural pathways. So when you experience something internally, your nervous system is making different connections, and sometimes those connections run automatically without reason. Sometimes you're afraid of walking outside of your house because your fear is not really it's not something that makes sense. Okay, and quote unquote, I say that in quotes, doesn't make sense. And it's just about making sense of your fear and being okay, stepping just outside and then expanding. There's a lot of different exercises, but I'm going to do some guided meditation. It's completely safe. It's not going to be new agey or anything like that. I'm not going to have you buying crystals or worshiping something else or anything like that. It's going to be completely just you walking a journey with me. You're going to be travelers going towards a place I call the Great Calm, which is inside each and every one of us. Some of you are panic, and I just want to guide you right back to the Great Calm, and so that you can think clearly, so that you can go for your job, so you can have a good job interview. You can have the courage to finally forgive someone, forgive yourself. We're going to be doing somebody suggested that we do something where you meet your younger self, and heal some old trauma, things like that. So I'm not a licensed therapist. I am certified in neurolinguistic programming, so I can practice it. I'm a little bit rusty, but the guided meditations will definitely help. They will definitely help. Let's see. I'm going to take some of your comments here. I think often we have all been guilty of reading the Bible and seeing how others need to change, when really we should be reading as our personal journal for getting closer to God. Yeah, true. The problem, I think, that arises here is that we turn to someone who we believe is the authority. And if we have respect for that person, they can have some wild ideas. And if you respect that person, you'll probably adopt those ideas too. And that's where it becomes a little bit dangerous, which is why I'm taking, like I said earlier, I'm taking that step back, and I'm saying, this is what I do believe. These are non-negotiables for me. The rest, I'm going to question. Is it necessary to get into heaven? Am I really going to lose eternal life if I believe this one particular thing? Who knows? I don't know. Nobody knows. I don't think anyone really knows. So that's where it gets a little bit tricky. But it sounds like the loose threads begin to heal and unite to work in one accord. Sounds great and needed. Yes. So see, for example, Melissa, you're making a lot of visual. There's a lot of visual words in the way that you're speaking. You're talking about loose threads, and so a good practitioner will listen to the language that you are using. And if I were to help you, overcome something, I would probably use your language, because that's how you see the world. You're using visual language. So I would say, yes, let's take one of those threads and find where it belongs. Find out where it became untied so that we can tie it together. At what point do you feel that this became loose? And you can say, oh, when I was a kid, I feel like my my mom or my uncle or someone, I feel like they cut that tie and I became disconnected. Okay, so let's reconnect. And so things like that. And there are people who say like, oh, see, you said it sounds like. So listening for things like that, if your language is sounds, I'll say something that specifically speaks about sound, being sensitive to things like that. Let's see. God is big enough for you to question him. That's right. Valerie, that's right. He's never been afraid of my questioning. I was so mad at him once before and he never abandoned me. I'm sure that taking a step back is not going to be a bad thing. And if it is, it's going to be just a bad thing for me. I'm not going to hurt anyone. That's the thing that I want to be very careful about who I'm leading towards him and who I'm entrusting them with, because I would hate to bring people and say, yes, like Christ has done this for me. And then that they follow a church that teaches them or hurts them in some way. I would really hate that to happen. So I got to be very careful. I'll be looking for and waiting for, so excited. Okay, cool. So that's it right there, familia. New computer, new way of doing things. Erika and I are going to record a video for Wednesday, Friday, and maybe Monday. Somebody requested a band called Phineas. Not sure what that is, but that's what we're going to cover in the next few days. And then I also have, let me share with you all, coming up this week. Matt S. requested Phineas. And then we have Osana, Messengers of Peace, requested by Jose Gonzalez. And then another one called Throne Room Song. Oh no, that's not this week. I'm gonna probably do that next week. We have Proverbs 3 by Todd Dulaney coming up this week. Excited for that. No leave for a week was driving me crazy. Happy a new computer. Yes. Well, thank you. I'm really glad that I'm missed. I guess that we're missed. The only thing required is that you believe Jesus is the Son of God and came to redeem us, and accept that. Everything else is doctrine. That's exactly how I've been feeling the last couple of weeks. And it's been really challenging for me. If I can be completely honest, it's been really, really challenging because some people just, I don't know, some people just say some things that are just, it almost sounds like they're wanting to convince themselves. Like one of the things that it doesn't really bother me, but it raises a question. It's like, well, now I can call you brother. And it's like, what were you calling me before? How did you see me before? So how are you looking at people who are not believers? Like, how is it that you're looking? I'm not judging you, by the way. I'm not saying like, wow, that's interesting. You don't see me as your brother. But it does raise that question. If now that I dropped the non-Christian title and I decided to follow Christ, and then you say to me, now I can call you brother, what was I to you before? It's not that offensive. I'm not saying that's offensive, but it raises a question. And other things like yes, I prayed for this before. I've been praying about this. That's right. Every knee shall bow and all tongues shall confess. And they say things, it almost feels like you're trying to convince yourself that somehow because I surrendered, that I am that it proves to you that what God said is true because my knee bowed and I confessed. It doesn't feel very nice. I don't know. Am I being too picky? Am I being too sensitive with that? Let me know. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little too sensitive with things like that. But I know that there's also been some people that have been very adamant about what I should and shouldn't believe. Like, hey, as a Christian, you need to believe this. This is like, and you need to call people out on this. And I can't do that. I can't. There are just some things that I'm not going to be able to jump on. And if it means that I'm not a Christian, then I'm not a Christian. But I know that my heart is with Christ, and I know that he still continues to lead me and guide me, and he will never tell me to hate anyone, never tell me to call someone out without first building rapport. Like, who am I to tell you you're sinning and that what you're doing is bad when I haven't even built rapport with you, when I haven't even made you feel like I care about you? Like, I don't know. And I learned a new word this week as well. Apparently there's a heavenly scorecard. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, like we're keeping tabs of, of I don't know, of whether or not, like, points, like racking up points to get into heaven. Like, I don't see things that way, familia, and maybe I'm wrong for seeing it this way, but I promise you all that I was going to be honest and open, and I'm not going to be that guy that is looking to get a quota or to score points for heaven in order for me to get in there. In fact, getting into heaven is not my priority. Like, I'm not looking to save myself. I know how that's going to sound, and maybe somebody's going to twist that. But what I'm saying is that when I love you is because I love you. When I respect you, it's because I respect you. When I give you advice, it's because I care about you, and I give you advice because I want what's best for you, not because maybe if I do this, I'll get into heaven. Does that make sense? Does that really, like, clarify what I mean by I'm not looking to be saved? Like, I already know that I'm saved. I'm not going to modify my behavior in a way that could probably actually jeopardize that salvation. I just want everybody to be kind to each other. I want you all to love one another. Like, you all see what's going on in Afghanistan. I saw some pretty horrible videos this morning about stuff that's going on over there. I don't like to get political or anything like that, but this is humans against humans. We're not created for that. We're created to spread love, and we're created to worship. Been listening to So Will I, for the last couple of days as well, and it's just such a perfect song that perfectly explains this. It says, if all of nature moves towards you, if all of nature obeys you, if all of nature does exactly what it's supposed to do, it doesn't move away from the path that you have set for it. All of nature, the mountains, the rivers, the animals, all the creatures. And as you speak, 1 billion creatures catch your breath. And that song is poetry. It's just poetry. And what were we created for? What were we made for? To destroy the planet? To join a group of people who believe that other people's lives don't matter? To join a group of people that believe that killing someone over territory is important? To chase after the material world, materialistic things, to not care about the environment? And I'm not trying to preach or anything like that, but or try to get, like, political, or try to get sentimental, or anything like that from that. But we're created to love one another, and if that's a scorecard, we're doing poorly. In fact, I think the only scorecard that matters is how much you're loving, and that should be 1 through 10. Rule number 1, love. Rule number 2, love. Rule number 3, love. It solves everything. It really does solve everything to a certain degree. It helps us understand what a person needs, truly needs. I'm not talking about lust, or other things that we have labeled love. I'm not talking about that kind of stuff. I'm talking about real love. And it saddens me that some people say we can't love that way. We just can't. It's impossible. Maybe it is, but I mean, don't we try? I mean, imagine if we thought that of everything, we wouldn't have created airplanes, and we wouldn't have created ships, and we wouldn't have created the internet to be able to have these kinds of conversations. We wouldn't do anything, because we would say, like, it's not possible. Nobody's ever done it, so therefore it's not possible, until somebody does it, and then suddenly a lot more people jump on board. Can we jump on board with love? Get rid of the scorecard. Jesus did not keep a scorecard. Brenda said there is no scorecard. And I'm not here to judge anyone. You believe what you want to believe. If you feel so strongly, if it's right for you, believe that. Believe that. But at the core, you should still believe in love. And you should still also question whether your other beliefs are in alignment with that. If it's not in alignment, then it shouldn't be there. That's just my opinion. Okay. If you have a belief that makes you hate another group that's different from yours, then you're out of alignment. That's not love. Love should definitely be at the beginning, at the forefront of everything. And you should, no, no, sorry, I'm going to step back because I'm not here to tell people what they should do. I'm going to talk about myself. I should question everything, my own ideas, my own beliefs. And if something is in alignment, if something tells me that I should love God and that I should love the neighbor as myself, my neighbor as myself, I should love other people as myself, and yet I hate the person who's the purple person who's around the corner, or the green colored person that's, I'm using colors that are not human, but green person around the corner because they're just funny, or I hate them or something. Like, that's not in alignment with the first principle. It's not in alignment with that. So I should question it. I should really, really question it. I should really look into whether or not that belief is serving God. Is it serving God? Or is it serving me? Or is it serving a group? If it's serving a group or it's serving me, then I don't want it. I don't want it, because it has to serve God. If it doesn't serve God, then you're in trouble. You're in trouble. You can go to church every single Sunday. You could sing all the praise songs. You could, repent all you like. But I'm going to be completely honest. It feels like it feels like heaven might be emptier than we think. Heaven might be a lot emptier than we think. So we should really take a good look at ourselves and see where we stand, on what side we're standing. We can't have one foot on righteous side and one foot on the worldly side. It's just, you can't do that. I'm not saying don't enjoy the things of this world, but know where the line is, know where it stops. Know and say, familia. I've just been like, this has been on my mind the last few couple weeks, but more the last few days. It's like, let's look at what Christ did, familia. He said, take up your cross and follow me. He didn't say, watch as I take my cross and I'm going to do this, and then suddenly you're wiped clean. It says, take up your cross and follow me. Do what I'm doing. You see how they slapped me, and you see how I didn't react with violence? You see how they humiliated me in front of my mother, in front of my peers? You see how I didn't retaliate? You see how they called me the King of Jews, and they mocked me, and they put a crown of thorns on me just to mock me? And do you see how I responded? Do you see what I did? Do you see that? And you see how even in my last breath, I was standing there crucified by you all. And you see how I responded? I said, Father, forgive them, because they know not what to do. You need to take up your cross and follow me. Take up your cross and do as I do. I'm making a trail here. Follow it. Follow it. Follow me. It just doesn't mean like, come with me. That's different. Follow me. Do as I'm doing. If you want to be happy, do as I do. If you want joy, peace, love, tranquility, be as I am. Be where I am. I think that's what his prayer was to God, that he prayed that we all may be where he is. Oh man, it gets it's I think we're overcomplicating things. It's a lot simpler than that. And some people go, no, it's too simple. No, it's not. It's not too simple. We all are making it too complicated with all these rules and all these things that we should and should not do. And I'm learning so many different words that I didn't even think that I was going to learn, like that conservative this and Baptist, and what is it, the other thing, the Calvinist, and and now Augustine and all these other new things that I'm like, why are we complicating this so much? Now we're following Augustine, now we're following Calvin, now we're following this other person. Like, where's Christ? Where's Christ? Simplify it, bring it down, simplify it. See, look at Christ. Let's read the red letter, see what it says. Pray on that, meditate on that. Let's meditate. Let's take a step back, meditate on that, and say, God, what do you mean by this? Sometimes God will say, like, don't worry about that. Don't worry about what the story in the Bible says. It doesn't apply to you yet or now in this very moment. What you need to focus is on this. You focus on this, the red letters, what Christ actually said, and the rest of it will make sense. The rest of it will make sense. You understand why certain things happened, because it's all meant for us to be back in heaven with him. You know, I'm not attached to my salvation. I know who I am and what I have to be to you all to unlock the key to that, to unlock the door. You follow? I'm gonna say some things that are sort of cryptic. It's gonna sound cryptic because I'm still an amateur in the Bible, and so I'm not gonna be able to quote the exact scripture. But there's a scripture that says, "Wide is the gate, right? That will lead to destruction." Everybody's following that gate, and narrow is the gate that leads to heaven. So I'm paraphrasing. Familia, let's take the narrow way. Let's take the narrow road. It's going to be hard, but you take the narrow road. The narrow road. You have that key. You just need to step back, meditate on that, really bring out that key. It's going to unlock it all for you, and you'll see how you're supposed to be treating your brothers and sisters. You're supposed to see that what fighting for land really looks like. We get it. All the ideas, territories, one country's trying to take over another country. One country's trying to take the resources of another country. Okay, we understand that. Okay, capitalism and all that. I'm not trying to get into political stuff. We get it. But what does it really mean? What does it all really, really mean at its core? When you say, like, what does my anger mean? Why do I get angry when someone offends me? What is it in me that becomes angry? And can I fix that? And the answer is yes, you can fix that. There's something in you that's not at peace. Can I bring that into peace? Can I bring that to the great calm, into the great kingdom? Can I bring that into my great kingdom and be in the great kingdom in me? And then look at the world and see that it's wrong to fight my neighbor. See that it's wrong to steal, to rob, to judge others based on the color of their skin or their status or their political preference or all these. Do we not realize that? Sorry, I'm going to cut it off. It was supposed to be short, but since Erika's not here, I'm ranting now. But do we not realize that every time we join a group, we're creating a line that divides us from the rest of the people? When I join a group, I create a line that divides me from other people. If I say I'm a part of this group, I create a line that says, you're not a part of this group, you're my enemy. That small act is violence. It's violence. And if at some point it turns to violence, then we are contributing to that violence because we as a whole give it that power. There's no such thing as society all on its own. We are society. You are contributing to society. That's it. So when I join a group that says we are anti that, it's already created a division. I personally don't want anything to do with it. I don't. But I could still love the country that I live in, and I could still love my heritage and my culture and be proud of some of the things like tacos and burritos, right? I could still be proud of that. But familia, I'm not going to fight for an idea. I'm not going to fight for a concept or a belief. I'm going to fight for what's true. And what's true is not a belief. It's truth. It's truth. It's something that is known, seen, that could be questioned and it will still stand. What is a belief can be questioned and it may stand or may not stand. you can kick its legs and maybe it'll fall apart. Maybe it'll fall apart, but the truth will stand no matter how much you kick it, how much you hack at it. The truth will stand because it stands on its own. It's not depending on something else to hold it together. And then you question that, and then it starts to fall apart. No, it stands fully, completely independent in itself. So I will fight for no idea, fight for no belief. In fact, I had this kind of conversation with someone and said, so you wouldn't get upset if I took a picture of your mom and I crumbled it and threw it on the ground and stepped on it and set it on fire. Wouldn't that upset you? Why? My mom's not hurt. You're telling me that I'm not smarter than that I can't see that you're destroying something that actually represents my mom. It's not my mom. It represents my mom. So why should I be so angry because you did something to something that represents my mom? Guess what? I can print another copy. It's not hurting her. It just shows how silly you are to think that something like that can actually affect me internally. Unless it was the last picture that I had of my mom, then it has sentimental value, but then still I am adding the value to the thing. And the thing is not my mom. The map is not the territory. Right? And yeah. I just wanted to bring all that out to let us know, familia, for us to reevaluate our systems, our belief systems, our ideas, and every once in a while do check inventory and say, is this idea still up to date? Should I still believe that there are monsters underneath my bed? Should I still believe that if my feet are dangling off of the side of my bed that some monster can grab it? Or when I walk out of my bedroom to the bathroom that something's going to get me? Is that still something that I should still believe? No. Okay. Cancel that out. Why am I going to occupy my head with things that don't make sense or things that are not necessary, that don't really mean anything to the Great Spirit? It's not building or lifting the Great Spirit. It's bringing me down. That makes God sad. Right? So reevaluating your ideas, your systems, and double checking to see if they're still up to date, and maybe do like go into your Apple Store or your Google Play Store and hit the update button on some of your internal apps, because some of them are running and they're glitching, or they have a bug and they're creating anger and frustration and resentment, and for no reason. Maybe you upgraded, and then when your child gets home from school, you treat them better, or when your husband or your wife gets home from school, you greet them kinder because you've upgraded. You're like, why am I so upset at my partner? Really? Because I said, how did I look in this dress? And he said, you look nice, but you were expecting like a wow, and he didn't give you that. So now you're angry, and now every single time you see him, you're angry at him. Like, why? Why? It doesn't make sense. I mean, do you want to be happy? Because if you don't, then that's definitely a recipe for unhappiness, for conflict, right? It's me versus you. You didn't take out the trash, so I'm mad. Or you didn't cook the dinner that I wanted, so I'm mad. Like, hit the update button on your apps and update them. Maybe see that maybe there are some games that you're playing in here that don't need to be played anymore, and so you get rid of it. Maybe now I don't need someone to compliment me in order for me to feel secure in myself, so I'm going to get rid of that needing other people's approval app, and now I have another app that says I'm good right here, just as I am. I'm loved just as I am. I'm going to create something like that on my other channel, the meditation channel, to where we can go into our internal, Play Store and download or delete certain apps that we need to live a better life. It's going to be mostly opening doors, unlocking doors, the door to our childhood trauma, the door to, the door to success, the door to once and for all end of specific fear or self-doubt or things like that. So, women are too hard on ourselves sometimes. You know what? Men are too, to be honest. Men are too. We each suffer in our own individual way, but hopefully we can help one another, familia, because in these last few days that I've been, the meditation channel, the link is in the description below, by the way, on the last thing. I think it's after number 7. go to number 7. There's a link there to a video there. I created that channel because in this moment where I was frustrated with the technology, with just people, with some of the comments, with some of the stuff that I'm going through in my personal life as well, familia, I started to feel unhappy, and I got back into my meditation, and I got back into centering myself, and I realized how beautiful it was to come back home. In fact, I'm going to read something that I posted 9 years ago. Facebook reminds you something you said. It says, and I wrote this. This was August 15, 2012. In meditation, about 80% of my day, it is indescribably life-changing. One preserves more energy because every thought that arises is given its proper place. So every thought that arises is given its proper place. Every emotion that arises is given its proper use. The mind does nothing and leaves nothing undone. A tree is no longer just a tree. The frustrations of others are seen clearly, and one responds appropriately to every situation as it manifests moment by moment. It's a peaceful state which no one can disturb. Love is constantly flowing, unattached, unconditional, pure love. Energy levels during exercise are directed easily, and the mind is rested, and therefore the body is rested. I'm thankful for the peace and for the love that is in my heart. Good night, familia. I used to call my people family. May you all get rest and find peace. Journey well. So this is a journey. It's definitely a journey that we're all going, that we're all on. Some of you are going to merge your journey with me. I can walk with you and share some things with you, and then you're going to be right back out. Others will walk with me the whole way through. And sometimes I may walk out every once in a while to rejoin you. But the thing is that we're all going towards the same place. We're all headed towards the great calm, what I call the great calm, heaven, the kingdom. I call it the great calm because there's nothing like it. You feel a peace that is untouched and undisturbed by anything. And we're all headed in that direction. And through these guided meditations, we're going to find a moment of peace where in that peace, we're going to uncover doors that we're going to walk through and find our healing. And you're going to do it all on your own. I'm just simply going to create the space for you, and I'm going to walk you into a door, say, open a box, and in that box, you're going to find something. Or maybe even say something like, you're going to open the door, and there's a room, and Christ is sitting there, and he calls you over to him, and you go and you put your ear up against his mouth, and he whispers something to you that is meant only for you. That is the secret to forgiving your aggressors. And guess what? I'm not going to say what that is. You're going to hear it in yourself. I'm just going to create the space for you to be able to do that, for you to be able to hear his voice, for you to be able to answer, to get the answer that is already in you, but you clutter it with your anger, with your hatred, with your resentment, with your frustration. You cover the answer to your problem. And so in meditation, we're going to go into a space where we're going to go into your psyche, where we're going to go into your emotional body. We're going to go into your spirit and get the answers that we need in order to heal and live a better life. I mean, I just want you all to live better lives. You can, maybe you're already living a great life. Maybe you're going to a concert every other weekend like Katie does. Maybe you already met Collington, or maybe Corey. Maybe your life is awesome, but there's always room for improvement, so that you can not just improve yourself, but improve the lives of other people. And that's all that we're trying to do, familia. So if you were interested in that channel, the link is in the description down below. Just go to number 7, click on that video. It's a short video on how to get started with meditation, and then listen to the rest of the audio. It'll help me out. My first goal with that is to get 1,000 subscribers on that channel, 1,000 subscribers, and then 4,000 hours of watch time. Once I get that, it unlocks all the communities tab. It unlocks other things, so I can monetize the channel as well, monetize the video, so that YouTube can do its thing, so that it can help support the channel, things like that. And so we're going to be doing some awesome stuff on that channel, which is why I'm doing only the 3 videos on this channel, so that I can make more guided meditation. Another thing that I want to do is maybe get someone to pray silently, and I'm going to add that prayer on the music, so that as you're sitting, you can hear that prayer. I'm also going to be doing some maybe some reading, like a proverb, or read a psalm or something like that, with the music in the background, and just allow you to sort of meditate on that scripture. Some pretty awesome stuff, Amelia. Just really, really things that I feel I was made to do. Other than, like, I love music and all, and I love playing and performing and stuff, but helping other people deal with things that I dealt with when I was younger, and overcome anxiety, overcome depression, overcome like panic attacks and all that other horrible things that can put a huge stop in your life. That gives me a lot of pleasure. I don't know if pleasure is the wrong word, but it makes me happy. It truly makes me happy. So the link is in the description below. Please help me out and subscribe, listen to it, help yourself out. If there's anything any ideas you want to pitch, do it in the comment section. Just say, hey, I'd like to maybe do something. Can you do like a meditation that helps you, calm down after an argument? That's one that I'm planning on doing. And this way, so if you just got into an argument with someone, a discussion with someone, you can tap in, get 3 minutes of just like, okay, sit here with me. It's okay. You got into an argument. But for the next 3 minutes, let's just bring ourselves down, bring at peace, where all the answers are found, where we can respond with peace and with love, and then create solutions that will move you forward, not pull you back. Things like that. Complex PTSD is difficult to work through. It is, but NLP has has a great exercise. It's called the movie theater method, or the movie theater. I forgot what it's called. It's the movie theater pattern. And basically what it is, it's you sit in the front of in the front row of a movie theater, and on the screen you will play that thing that triggers your PTSD. You'll play it in a movie. So now the point is that you're detached from it. You play it forward and then backwards, and then we mess around with some knobs, like you take the color down and you bring the sound down, and you'll play like maybe funny music to go along with it, so that internally you're replaying that in a different way. Because again, you think about something, it triggers a specific neural pattern inside of you, and then it brings up emotions, it makes you frustrated, it makes you panicked, and then you act out on it. So the point of this exercise is to change a few of the things in that memory, so that you don't remember it the same way, and it doesn't play the same neural pathway. You create a new neural pathway that sort of makes you laugh at the situation, or pushes it farther away. And if that doesn't help, what you do is you sit on the next row, but you watch yourself on the first row. So now you are watching yourself on the first row, watching the screen. So now you're even more detached from the memory. And if that doesn't work, you'd sit yourself back again, watching yourself, watching the thing. And if needed, you're holding the projector, controlling the projector, watching yourself watch and react to it until you yourself don't feel the heaviness of the memory. It's a really great way of overcoming certain traumas. I recommend that you do it. You could do it yourself, but I do recommend that you sit with someone, because there are some questions that come with it. So if you're seeing it, you could explain, I'm hearing this, I can hear this, and say, okay, what would happen if we turn the sound down and maybe push the image further away? So there's some things that you need to be guided with. So find someone that can help you with that. But I think NLP is great with that, with complex PTSD. My prognosis since February is my RSD, rejection sensitivity dysphoria. It gets triggered so easily now. My brain is a jerk. Okay. If you'd like, Katie, we can talk about it on a private setting. And all I'm interested in knowing is like what happens. Like if you were to hire me to have that triggered reaction, what would be the first thing that I have to do? Like, pretend that you're going to take a break from it and you're hiring me and I'm going to sit in your place, and you say, okay, well, first you're going to think about this, you're going to remember the thought, then you're going to feel this in your body, then it's going to trigger this other thought, and then it's going to do this. I want to know what that process is like, because there's a lot of information in that process that can help uncover the solution of how to cut it, or how to turn the volume down, or change the quality. So if you're interested in that, we can talk about it in a different setting. But thank you from the beginning for your YouTube channel and love your journey you are on. Not said a lot, but have just prayed, meditated quietly for you and yours. Be blessed. Thank you, Desiree. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Tamara has helped quite a bit. Great. Cool. I'm thinking about also on the other channel of inviting the therapists to talk about certain topics and stuff like that. So I want to keep that separate. So here's all the reaction channel, talking to artists, talking to the singers and all that, the artists, interviewing the artists. And then on the other channel, we're going to do the other stuff, talking to people who meditate and talk about their experience, talk to therapists, talk to, life coaches and, work people who are in the health industry, stuff like that. So it's more for your overall health. And here we're going to do all the Christian stuff. Cool. So familia, thank you all so much for joining me. Coming to see you, God, and through you. Thank you, Plug R. I appreciate that. Sounds great. Thank you, 333. Familia, thank you all so much for joining. I was going to say us. Eddie got to step out to pick up Danny. But thank you so much for joining us. So that's the update on the channel. We're going to get started. I'm going to come on here maybe tomorrow to talk about the Chosen schedule. And so we're going to get started with that. And then Erika and I are going to be recording soon. Somebody gave me an angry face on, Sister Carol Ann, you're angry. Okay. Maybe she didn't know she was doing it. But see, ADD right there. We're going to be talking again soon. Thank you so much for your love and support, familia. Please be sure to check out the other channel in the description down below. And I would appreciate if you subscribed and take a listen to a couple of the meditation videos that I've already posted. All right, everybody. Please remember to continue to spread the love that comes from above. And we'll see you on our next adventure.